Nothing makes dinner more fun than delicious kebabs, and you can make your very own at home with delicious meat from the Kentucky Beef Council. Joining me again in the Charlie Wilson KitchenAid kitchen with more is Kelly Beard from the Kentucky Beef Council. Now the dish that we just had was amazing, but this one, it might be topping it.
Yeah. And it's extremely simple along with it, but it feels very extravagant when you look at it, but we're just trying to find more of those simple recipes that taste absolutely delicious that hopefully you can make dinner time easier or just all summer grilling as we keep going through the summer.
Yeah, so tell us about these Peruvian steak kebabs.
Yeah, so Peruvian steak kebabs, all the work's gonna come in on the beforehand. So that's going to be our marinade. So we have, we used a skirt steak or a flat iron or one of the flank steaks. We used a skirt steak this time, and what we did was we put it in a marinade the night before. So all we had in there, we had a lot of lime juice to break up all that muscle fiber. You need some acidity, and then think all your favorite seasonings. So but most importantly, the chili powder and some chilies. So you can add in a whole can of chilies if you'd like. Chili powder, all those garlic powder, salt, pepper, just really to break it up. And I let it sit in overnight. And then all I needed to do was cut up the steak into cube-sized pieces. I like going for a thinner steak so that I don't have to worry about it cooking once it's on the grill. And then I used squash and zucchini. And what we're really gonna add the spice to the flavor and why they look so good and delicious is saving that marinade. So when you're using a marinade, you're not gonna want, once it touches the raw beef or raw meat, to use it again. You either going to want to discard it or you could boil it. But what I did was before I put the steak in the bag with the marinade, I poured some into a little Tupperware and saved it. And then you can use that as a sauce following it.
It just looks so good. And will that marinade, since you pulled it out initially, will that kind of like thicken up a little bit?
It'll thicken up a little bit and it'll be a really good sauce, but it'll also really just pull all of those flavors out. So that flavor's already going to be in the beef. You can throw your veggies in that marinade too with the steak the night before, and then all you need to do is put them on the kebab, throw them on the grill, and you're ready to go.
Super easy. You mentioned the different cuts of beef. So when you're making a kebab, what are the best cuts to use?
So when we're thinking kebabs, really just those simple cuts. You're not going to want to use like a ribeye or a filet. They're going to be a little bit expensive for what you're doing. There are great options when it comes to like sirloin tips that are already cut off in that, but also a skirt steak where it's so thin and already so kind of tender. When you add in that marinade, it really breaks it down. It's so easy to grill and it tastes delicious just heating up, as well as that flat iron that we used on the bruschetta earlier is a great option that just needs to be marinated, can be cut super thin, as well as maybe even a flank steak if you're at the store. And those are all cuts that are gonna get you more bang for your buck. So you're gonna be buying maybe 2 pounds, but you can stretch that so far, especially when you're thinking kebabs. You can add more. They're so customizable. So if you want more veggies, if you want more steak, you can do that.
Yeah, what are some other ways to marinate these? Maybe if you don't want it like too kicked up in spice, what are some other maybe like sweeter options or some other savory ones too?
So one of the big things when you're thinking about a marinade is having that acidity, whether that's lime juice or pineapple juice or maybe even like an Italian dressing. Dressings that have some acidity in it are a super simple option that you don't have to worry about all the seasonings. You can just pour some balsamic vinaigrette, or you can throw in some Italian dressing in the bag and you should be ready to go if you like that flavor. Or really, if you want some brown sugar, some good ones could be even just some lime juice, some brown sugar. You really have that sweet, and it's almost kind of like you're really barbecuing out with like a sweet honey happening.
You're getting me all sorts of excited about that. And so, again, where can people actually find the recipe cards? I know we kind of showed it up on the screen a little bit earlier, and you do have these super handy-dandy little cards, which gives some great inspiration of what the recipe is supposed to look like, and it's pretty dang. I think yours looks better, honestly.
And the great thing too, you don't have to match you can really customize it for what you're looking for. At kybeef.com, we have all of these recipes. At kybeef.com/beef month. We have all of our recipes that are highlighted this month, and you can print out. It has all of the recipe ingredients you need, almost like a shopping list. If maybe you could check your kitchen, check the store. You can also print out step-by-step instructions on how to complete the recipe, so it makes it super simple.
Absolutely, because something like this might be so intimidating for people, but really it's just doing some little prep work the night before, just putting it on your little skewer and just grilling it on the grill.
Yeah, and I do have one more tip
Okay.
that when it comes to kebabs makes it so effortlessly.
Yes.
Our kebab sticks, we don't want them to burn, and if you're anything like me, I feel like I always burn them just because I'm in a rush. If you soak them in water before you grill them, or before you put all of your meat and veggies on them for like even about an hour,
Okay.
or you could just leave them if you already know you're prepping it in a marinade, just go ahead and put them in water, they won't burn.
Good tip, because that's the last thing you want. It's like, ooh, something's burning, and it's not even the food. It's actually
It's the steak they're on, and then they snap in half. You have all of your kebabs stuck on the grill. So really, soaking those in water will probably help out your local fire department not having to come out, but also make the kebab grilling season a lot easier.
Absolutely. Well, these were some great tips. And again, we are still not done yet. But again, to learn more about all these great recipes that we're sharing with you today, just go to kybeef.com/beefmonth to learn more. And coming up after the break, we are keeping things hot in the kitchen with more delicious recipes from the Kentucky Beef Council. Find out what unique recipe we're cooking up in our kitchen after the break.